You know what I feel like that's not talked about enough? These women who get these men in committed relationships or marriages, which are worse, and then they don't want to sleep with them.
Do you ever not want to cuddle because you know that's what's going to
happen? All the time. I'll play dead. He's like cuddling and I just lay there and he's like, geez. And I'm like, well, no, because then you're going to take it as a green light. And no,
it's like frustrating because I don't mind a cuddle. Like he'll rub my back and I like that part, but I'm not always ready for the whole thing.
I have to be very clear with the signals I'm giving. I'm not trying to give the wrong signal. Sometimes I feel like if I cuddle or sometimes if my feet are cold, I'll put them on him. He thinks it's the go. And I'm like, no, I have cold feet. So I have to say, hey, can you get my heating pad? Because then I'm by myself, you know? If I'm rubbing up on him, then he thinks that it's like the green.
Do women just hate their husbands now? Is this even real? Is this anti-marriage propaganda? Is this Chinese anti-marriage propaganda? If my wife, first of all, God forbid I end up in a situation like this. It's not going to happen to me. I refuse. But if I was in a situation like this, I would just cheat on my wife. You're going to say no to sex? Yeah, I'm cheating. I don't care. And then these women get on a podcast and they're like so excited to talk about how they're not attracted to their husbands. This whole thing, dude. Oh my gosh. Sick. This is sick. You people need Jesus.
I don't know if Jesus is the answer, but it is definitely a problem. One of the major complaints I get from men who call in and ask for my advice, this is happening on a daily basis, my friends. The number one complaint is sexless marriages. And that's what we want to talk about today, because there is an ongoing trend, especially on TikTok. A lot of these podcasts are talking about married women who are talking about, well, it's my body and I should be able to have sex when I want and he shouldn't have permission to have my body whenever he wants, and a whole host of different ways to reject your husband's affection. And listen, there are some caveats, but I'm going to tell you, ladies, it is a serious problem within your marriage when you reject your man sexually, when you reject your husband sexually, or even during your regular relationships. And I am going out on the limb and I'm going to say exactly why this is happening in today's environment. So that's what we're going to get into today, my friend. It's going to be a serious one, but it is something that has to be discussed in depth. And we have to understand why we're here in the world of marriage. And this pretty much will dictate another reason why a lot of men are no longer interested in getting married. Simple. So let's get into it. Subscribe, my friends. Hit that like button, please. Book a session if you need to talk about anything, my friend. If you need advice from an older man, I'm here to help you navigate through life. Okay? My rates are reasonable. I basically keep them reasonable because I want to help the average guy. I'm not just here to work with the rich. I'm here to work with everyone. Okay? So I want to go back to the first video where this gentleman expressed his thoughts when it comes to marriage.
You know what I feel like that's not talked about enough? These women who get these men in committed relationships or marriages, which are worse, and then they don't want to sleep with them. So you telling me that I committed myself to you and you don't want to sleep with me, but I also can't sleep with no other woman. Crazy work to me. And a lot of times they use sleeping with them as a reward system. They weaponize it. Oh, okay, you took the car to get a car wash, you got the oil change, you cut the grass, okay, you paid all the bills, okay, you helped me with the kids, and you cleaned up. I guess I can give you something.
This is women's primary weapon, especially during relationships and marriage. I will give you access to my body now that I have you committed. Now that I got you where I want you, I'm going to leverage the only thing I know that you cannot do without. I know you can't do without it. I'm going to leverage that and I'm going to use it as a negotiating tool. You can call it prostitution. You can call it sexual manipulation. You can call it whatever you want. Because even within the marriage, there can also be prostitution. If you define prostitution as what it is, literally sexual access for monetary gain. And that monetary gain can come in the form of favors, items purchased or raw cash. That's how prostitution works, my friends. If a woman leverages her body and gets access to a new job, she got the job which will earn her more money. Ultimately, it's a sexual exchange for monetary gain. Just because it didn't come in raw cash, the cash came a few steps further down the line. Women do it all the time. So I'm finding now that this is a major problem in today's modern environment. And I will argue that women are much more devious and conniving when they have a man locked down, because they are now more prone to use sex as a form of favor, as a form of getting what they want, because it's much more acceptable. Back in the day, a woman performed her sexual duties because it was her duty. It was part of the duty of a wife. But of course, in today's modern society, it's my body, it's my choice, and I should have access. This body is not his, and yes, everything that he earns is mine, but this body is not his. I have no responsibility. I don't have to cook. I don't have to clean. Everything is in the woman's favor.
How every woman should welcome her man home.
The man has access to nothing, and then he has to beg for sex from a woman when they first met. Sex on the freaking car top, in the freaking toilet, on the beach, on the roadside. It was given to him freely and passionately from every corner of the house. But the second it gets into the marriage, where she knows that she now has this man controlled within her confines, then the sex is rationed. Then the sex has to be negotiated. And I argue that the reason this happens is because the woman gets bored with sex. And I've told you guys this many, many times. You have to watch how many bodies the woman had before she got to you. Because the woman who has gone through a lot of bodies earlier in life will have a hard, or it will be impossible for her to be monogamous long term. And what do I mean by long term? 3 to 5 years. 3 to 5 years, that woman is bored with you sexually. Why? Because that's usually the time period which she had changed partners. Most women change their partners when they were single. Every 3 to 6 months, she had a fresh D. Every 3 to 6 months, most women would have changed dicks. A fresh man, a different experience. So what do you expect? You think she's now going to settle down with one guy and be happy? It's going to be boring. Boring, boring, boring. Women do not understand that this is what's destroying their minds. That's why I tell my daughters, man, do not do this whole phase and this happy period or whatever the hell you guys want to call it. Do not do it. It will destroy you. It's literally like going in and becoming a coke addict early in life and then expect to not desire coke later in life. When you're hitting your 30s and 40s, 50s, man, that whole life, the streets are going to be calling you, screaming at you. You cannot deny it. But who suffers? The man who's supposed to be monogamous to you. You see, men don't have that problem. Men don't get emotional attachments when he hit the different punani. He don't do that. He does not get attached. When that man makes that commitment to one, he can do it. He can stay in that if he's being satisfied by that one woman. But if that isn't going to happen, trust me, he will step out. That's why you ladies got to understand. Let's listen to what else this brother has to say.
I got a homie. Him and his wife was high school sweethearts. They've been married for 15 years, going on 15 years this year. They got married at 20. And he said in the last 6 months, Dan did it 3 times. And he have not ever been with another woman besides her. That's crazy work to me. Because there's some dudes in these relationships and our marriages who you're not sleeping with, who you won't give none to, but they can go out and sleep with just about any woman they want. but you're the only woman they want to sleep with, yet you don't want to do it. It's crazy work to me. And then y'all wonder, besides the emotional abuse or financial abuse that men have to go through in relationships or marriages or after they're over, as far as spousal support, child support, alimony, and all that other stuff, why men are staying away from relationships and our marriages, who want to put themselves through that? Why would I get with a woman who's going to tell me, oh, not tonight, I got a headache, I don't feel like it, when I can have 10 women on my roster and, oh, you don't feel like it tonight? Well, she do. Come pull up. What? Who? Why? Who the fuck want to do that? Why would I put myself through the bullshit when I can have 10 of you?
I heard no lie. My wife knows better than that shit. We went through our little rocky period. She's older, man. She's 55. The menopausal periods, she went through that little dip. I had to consider that, okay, she's going through this shit. I can't be cold. I cannot ignore that part of life. But I told her, listen, be careful. We don't want to get into that danger zone because you know me. I have no problem getting what I need. And she understood that because she knows my past. She know I don't have a problem getting out there hitting some shit. So she got it together. And usually that's what it takes. I mean, listen, man. Like I tell women all the time, a man produces sperm and he produces millions, actually about 750 to a million sperms per day, depending on his testosterone level. He has to put them somewhere. They have to come out of his body. Even now, a lot of studies have shown that men who do not ejaculate at least 3 to 4 times a week usually end up with a higher degree of having prostate cancer. Do we understand that? Which is one of the most common cancers for men. Okay? So even though women know that men need sex, they know it. Most of the time, you don't have to do much work. You really can't put in freaking 5. Well, some guys will bust a nut within freaking 45 seconds. You guys can't freaking give up 3 minutes. Let's just average 3 minutes to freaking 15 minutes for those guys that can go long. 3 to 15 minutes of your life. 3 to 4 times a week for the man that you love. The man that you used to freaking jump on it every freaking day of the week when you guys could get a chance when you first met. 3 to 15 minutes. That's it.
What should I do when I'm not in the mood, but my spouse is?
For me personally, just do it anyway. I'd say do it anyway. There's a lot of times when I'm not in the mood. Now, again, I'm not saying like, okay, it's that time of the month for you, or you just got out of surgery, or you're all contagious and coughing and sneezing. I'm not saying all of that stuff. Okay. I'm just saying it's a normal day and you don't feel like it, but they do. Just do it anyway.
Okay.
It's going to be, what's the worst case is you like it. I mean,
well, the worst case is that they like it. But you might like it.
Yeah, you might.
Here's the principle that I think we've lived by. It only takes one person to be in the mood for us to have sex.
Yeah.
And I think that's where many people are missing it, because they feel like they need to be in the mood.
Yeah.
And for both people to be in the mood, you got to go to Netflix and watch a movie, because much of that is acting.
Yeah.
Because most of the time in the marriage, like we've been married 25 years, it's like 2 ships passing in the night. For us both to be in the mood at the same time, it has to be like an anniversary. It has to be something. Typically, it's one of us instigating and the other one saying, okay, that's what you want, but I'm going to get in the mood as well. But I never deny you. If you want some, here I am. And you always treat me that way. If I want some, there's no denying. Now, I'm not a fool. I know that if you're coughing and don't feel good, if you had a long day, I might say it, and I can tell by the way, okay, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, here's the principle. Only one person needs to be in the mood for sex to happen in a marriage.
I just want you ladies to understand how selfish you can be when you deny the man 3 to 15 minutes per 3 times a week. That's less than an hour a week of your time. And he don't give a shit if you smelling good, whether you bathe, whether you don't, whether you have on perfume. He don't give a shit. He just want to get in that little hole. That's it. But no, You got to make it a thing.
Sometimes we are rejecting our husband's initiation of sex for reasons that we don't necessarily need to. I'm not talking about when you have a full-blown migraine or you're vomiting or you're like late for an appointment. I'm talking about the like, oh, I'm kind of tired, or I've got a little headache, or it's been a long day. Times where really you're rejecting it just because you don't feel like it, not because it's a dire need to say no in that moment. And you have to remember, how many times does your husband come home from work and help with the kids or help with the dishes or go off to work with a headache or when he's tired or when he doesn't feel well, but he's doing it anyway? Sex is vitally important to keep a marriage healthy. And if you don't want to do it and you're withholding that from him, you need to ask yourself why. Because the more that you reject that, you're severing the relationship with him. So if you really want to keep your marriage thriving, meet his needs even when you don't feel like it, just like he needs to when he doesn't feel like it.
This woman got it. She got it. I wish more women would just come out and say these things, because a lot of you are just freaking watching these TikTok videos of women who are pissed off because their husband keeps slapping their asses. The day the man stops giving you that attention, that's when you're in trouble. When you tell a man no, enough, you, my friend, will end up in the same problem that the current dating market is now in. Leave us alone. Don't approach us. What has resulted? Men stop talking, stop approaching. Now you're out here crying, no one will approach. Men don't approach us anymore. Men don't approach us. The same thing will happen in your freaking marriage. Keep denying your husband affection, it will shut down. It's not freaking rocket science. Don't listen to all of these freaking idiots on TikTok with this crap. This is the kind of shit I see. These simps who are telling you guys this sort of crap, because you have to be careful of this, okay? Watch what I'm talking about.
I am literally cleaning the kitchen right now.
What's the big deal? Gosh, you're freaking out over nothing.
I'm literally actively cleaning the kitchen. Why is that the time that you have to do that?
Gosh, why are you freaking out? I'm just showing you that I love you. You'd miss that if I stopped doing it. Hey.
The simp edition has stepped in. Now, I'm going to pause it here because I want to interject this for you guys, both husband and wives, to understand. There is no limitation on showing affection. The man did not take his D out and start humping her. He reached over for a kiss, showing that he is appreciating his wife. It doesn't matter how she smells, how she looks. He doesn't give a shit. The woman should actually appreciate that she don't have to get dressed up for her man to appreciate her. If she's working hard, he's showing her that he appreciates her working hard and doing her thing. My wife, I see her in the kitchen cooking, or whether she's freaking out sweating, I don't give a shit. I want to give her a kiss, boom, I give her a kiss. Slap that ass, whatever. The point is, she don't reject that attention because she realized that I am doing it, showing that I appreciate and I love her. It's not a sexual act. It's an affectionate act. When the woman goes on like this, it shows that she's not connected to her husband in an affectionate manner. She wants affection shown to her under her conditions. And that, in its essence, is selfish. That's not real affection. I don't give a shit if I'm feeling like crap, or I'm doing business, or I'm freaking working out, or I'm talking to President of the freaking United States. I don't give a shit what happens or what I'm doing. If my wife is going to show me affection, I'm going to go, thanks, baby. Done. I'm doing this right now, but thank you. Yeah, that's how you show love for your partner. Now, this is how the simp mentality gets you to warp your concept of affection to favor the woman so that she can weaponize affection in order to control the relationship. Listen to the simp response. I'm seeing more of this shit.
What are you doing? Where the heck did you come from? That's the wrong question, my friend. The right question is, what can you learn about your wife right now? Right now, you believe your wife is overreacting, and that's why you're upset. You think that should be fine. What's the big deal? You're my wife. I'm just showing you affection. It's being ridiculous. Well, learn about your wife. You can be upset about those things, but your wife, your specific wife, is telling you she doesn't like it. And instead of arguing on whether or not she should like it, why don't you just ask her why? Ask her what she would like instead. She's dirty. She's got dishwater all over her. She's in the kitchen doing chores and you're in the living room watching the game. And you thought the best time while you were relaxing and she was working is to come over and cop a feel? Context matters. And so everybody's context is going to be a little different. Learn your wife's. Understand her. Figure out why that bothers her and try to understand rather than making her feel bad or saying she's overreacting.
It sounds good, doesn't it? But technically what he's saying is, ask your wife, why are you rejecting my affection? What do you think the wife is going to tell him? She's going to tell him whatever she devised as a control mechanism to control his affection. This freaking simp is telling the man that he must accept the fact that the wife must control his affection and when he should give it to her. That is not the way to freaking conduct a relationship. Now let's flip the script. Imagine if I told the wife, you must only give me affection when I say that it's acceptable. Doesn't sound so good now, does it? So this kind of freaking pandering to the female brain is what's freaking messing up a lot of relationships. It's all about how the woman feels. And if she don't feel like accepting your groping, it wasn't a freaking grope. The man lovingly hugged the wife. He didn't grab her by the crotch. Because in none of these scenes or any of these issues, most men not going to grab the woman by the pee. It's usually a hug and a kiss to the neck or a slap on the butt. Jiggle the titties a little bit. So freaking what? They are in a relationship. This idea that we got to grope our partners. You hear the language that they're using? Grope. That is a derogatory term in itself. So this is the conditioning that the simp mentality would like to condition men to think. Only give her affection when she wants it. And you better ask for consent next time. Learn when she wants it. Get the hell out of here. Let me hear what else he has to say. It's just freaking annoying listening to this.
In the long run, your wife will appreciate that more and your relationship will be stronger and more connected because you took the time to understand her, not make her feel bad because she didn't want you to grope her while she was doing dishes.
Grope her when she was doing dishes. As if, oh, this is such a big thing. Tidying up the kitchen, it's not doing rocket science, my friend. It's not putting an airplane together. It's not doing spreadsheets and you need to focus on making sure those numbers are correct. It's freaking cleaning dishes and wiping down a countertop. It's not a grope. It's an affectionate hug. Annoying to freaking listen to. Here's another scenario, okay? I got to read this one because this only has music in the back and I have to take out the music because otherwise I'll get copyright for it. Now, guys, this wasn't a setup. I can see that this was genuine, okay? Now, there is a problem with this relationship. I strongly suspect that this woman is cheating. And I'll tell you why. Anyone else's husband fully grope and caress them while having a full-on conversation? Number one, she looks at her husband in pure contempt. Her attention is on the phone. The man is overly possessive. He detects that there is a distance between both of them, and he's trying to hold on to it. He's trying to hold on to his wife. And the fact that she posted this after with that look in her face when she looked at her man with almost disdain. How dare you touch me while I don't want your attention? My attention is on this phone and you are talking to someone else. So none of this says a happy marriage. None of this. This marriage, if it's a marriage, is doomed to fail. Let me know if I'm wrong. Here's another scenario.
I know what he's after. He just wants... Can't you see that this is not the time? Read the room, dude.
Ever have this happen to you? It's called the bristle reaction, and it's a term that my wife coined. I hate to break it to you, but if your partner does this, it's likely happening because you've accidentally trained them to do it to you by only touching them when you want. If you want to start breaking down the bristle reaction, the first step is literally acknowledging that it's happening. So send her this reel. Tell her, oh my God, I did not realize that I was doing this.
Oh, Christ. His wife coined a term to train him to only touch her when she wants to be touched. The bristle reaction. She don't want him to freaking touch her. People who are in love with each other and who love each other's sexual touch don't have a bristle reaction, period. It doesn't matter when it comes or doesn't come. Human beings are social creatures. But when the woman has had too much freaking affection and all of a sudden she's married to the freaking beta, the cuck, the man that she really don't want to be in a relationship with sexually. He might be the provider, protector, but sexually, no. I mean, women like this usually have had way too much D back in the day. She cannot bond with her husband on a sexual basis. It's impossible. See it all the time. All she's thinking about now is Chad and Tyrone that had digged her down back in the day. Every sexual encounter, that's what's going through her head. She's just reminiscing back then. And every time this man touches her, no, I can't deal with that. No. I got you now. I had to put up with this shit to catch you so that you would marry me so I can get some security. But now, no. The bristle effect. Shit. Now he's trained to freaking come on TikTok and tell you what his wife has devised as the perfect excuse why she don't want him to touch her. Man, gentlemen, you got to put your foot down when it comes to these things. Do not marry a woman who has a high body count. Do not marry a woman who shows any sign of contempt before you get married. Watch for the signs, because you will end up in a sexless marriage, frustrated as hell.
To you, but watching it totally makes sense. Tell her that you want to be able to have touch in your relationship without the added pressure that it's supposed to lead to something else. And ask her, what are your favorite ways or what are your most relaxing ways of being touched? And start incorporating those types of touch more often. Let me know down in the comments if you've ever experienced a bristle reaction in your relationship.
I know what he's after. He just wants...
Yeah, I get in the bristle reaction. I said, what the hell is this? What's up? What's wrong with you? That's how I'm handling it. What's up? What the hell's wrong with you? You're pulling back now when I'm touching you? What's the problem? It better be a damn good excuse, and it better don't come often. Because if this is the way that I'm supposed to operate now on pins and needles when I don't know when to touch you, because I can guarantee you the second she tells you, oh, well, this is when I want you to touch me on Thursdays, between the hours of 8 and 10 o'clock, that's our touch time. But at 10:05, you know, honey, I'm starting to get really sleepy, and I have my mask on, and I like to put on my night moisturizer, and I don't like you touching me after that. Oh, no, don't do that, because then it gets all sticky, and then I can't get to bed. Oh, okay, so don't do it then. And then, of course, you know, on Thursdays, I got to wake up early in the morning because I got yoga. And then, so let's not do any touching before that, because then you're going to just get me all excited, and then I won't be able to sleep on time, and then I won't be able to wake up at 5 o'clock, because you know how grumpy I am in the morning. Of course, you can't touch me at 5 in the morning, okay? And then, so I think the best times, babes, is usually on Mondays between the hours of 7:30 to 9. Because that's after I come from work, and, you know, I like to relax after work, you know. And then on Tuesdays and of course on weekends, it's a little bit better. But, of course, not when I'm having my period, okay? Love you. That's what you're going to put up with in your marriage? When before you got married, you were fucking on the countertops, in the car, in the back seat, in the freaking movie theaters. You were fingering her. You were on the beach and freaking sand in the crack of your asses. You're on trips. You're running up and down. You're sweaty, wet, during her period. Every freaking minute. You guys were... And now that you're married, you're going to dictate to me when you're affectionate? Must be out of your ass mind. This is some white shit. Yeah, I said it. Yes, honey, I'll do whatever you feel like. I want you to feel comfortable. No, forget about me. It's not about me. Yeah. And of course, men got to sit there, suck it up, and deal with it. But let's reverse the roles. The man testosterone levels drop and she's horny. What do you think they're going to tell the woman to do now? Girl, you got to get your needs met. You got to freaking get your needs met, you know? If you got to go out there and get a man who can do the job, then you got to go and get a man that can do it. If he don't want to freaking do anything different or he can't do it, then you got to get, yeah. In other words, to hell with that man. Girls, you're not getting your needs met. You go out there and you do what you got to do. But the man, no, dude, no. The man is the one who actually needs to physiologically get rid of the sperm. Women don't freaking produce sperm. She don't produce anything when she has an orgasm. All of that is just mental dopamine, feel-good feeling, and some freaking fluid that she squirts out of herself. That's it. But a man, he has to freaking pump out that sperm every day. Gentlemen, don't get manipulated into this shit.
Just doesn't feel like a man can even grab his own wife anymore, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, what? Just the other night I walked past her in the kitchen, grabbed her butt in a respectful way, and she got all offended. Okay, lot to unpack here. What happened to being playful with each other? Well, let me just ask you, do you feel like you really listen to her when she talks? What's that? We'll mark that as a no. Do you feel like you make it a point to get curious about her inner world? You know, what she's going through, what she needs to feel prioritized? Not sure on that one. Let's just be honest, just between the two of us. Is the only time you're affectionate with her when you're trying to get some? Maybe. Well, I had to learn the hard way that when your partner doesn't feel emotionally connected to you, if they don't feel like you're a safe place for them, if they don't even feel like you care to communicate with them on a deeper level, and especially if she feels like you only value her for her body, well, that's why she doesn't want to be touched like that. Not sure what you're trying to say. Butt grab bad, closeness good, lead to more butt grabbing in future. Is that pig Latin? Listen, here's all I'm trying to say. Maybe we'd feel closer if she prioritized the bedroom more. No, it doesn't work that way. You might be wired like that, but she's probably not. And her desire and arousal for you plummets when she feels neglected emotionally and pressured physically. All right, you convinced me. So what am I supposed to do? Well, first we simply ask her, do you feel prioritized or connected to me? And then we listen. We ask her, how can I fill your love tank this week? And then we follow through. We empathize with any disconnection that she's feeling. We take responsibility. I'm not saying apologize for things you didn't do, but apologize for what you could have done better. And over time, not overnight, she will start to feel closer to you.
Holy shit. Yeah, a man can't even grab his wife's ass anymore. The day the man stops grabbing that ass, that's the day the relationship will fail. When a man withdraws his affection, very little that can happen to bring that back, man. Preserve your relationship. Think about it. Less than an hour of your time a week, and 90% of the time, all you got to do is lie there, open your legs, stroke him a little bit, and your problems are solved. That's it. Your man is happy. He's freaking bouncing off the walls, happy as hell. He's giving you everything you want. He will freaking slay the freaking dragon and take care of everything for you. Small sacrifice if you don't want it. Then, on those days that you actually feel like it, you say, honey, let's put some effort into this. Let's get funky. Let's do something different. Let's hold me, cuddle me, whatever he needs. And he will gladly comply. He won't be in a rush or he won't be freaking aggressive because he's already had that quickie. That quickie took care of him. Balls are emptied. 3-4 days ago, he's good. On this day, you are more inclined to want to be in it for you now. Then you say, hey, baby, slow down there, baby. All right, slow down there. I want to come. I want to do this for me. Do this. And he will gladly comply. Just understand the simple equation. He will want sex more than you. The days you don't want it, get him off. Get him off. That's it. Do your things. Lie there, open your legs. Done. Those are the quickie sessions. And you say, and you both agree, those are our quickie sessions, baby. I'm just there for you. Done. Okay? He knows he don't have to worry about you. Then there are days that you want to be taken care of because you are now into it. He now has to slow down and take care of you. Do you understand how this shit works? Try that, my friends. Try that. But ladies, don't ignore your man's needs. You're only setting your marriage up for failure. Okay, I think I've beaten this horse as much as I can. Hopefully, you guys learned something here about marriage and sex because it's a serious problem. But ignoring your husband? No. Making him beg? No. Telling him that he has to get into his emotional state to please you? No. No, 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 no. Not when it comes to sex. Sexual blackmail? No. Don't do these things. If you want your marriage to come to an inevitable end, yes, keep doing that shit. But I'm here to preserve your marriage. Okay? So my friends, subscribe, book a session if you need any help at all. And of course, remember, whenever in doubt, always, always ask an older man. I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.